Hey everybody, Jack here from the community team, joined by Brooke again this week. In this session, we're going to be deciphering the message states within your Jane account. So, when you send a notification or you send an email or an invoice or something like that to a client, that all lives within their patient profile under messages. Each of those messages have different states that mean different things. And so Brooke here today is going to go through each of those states, what they mean, and help you decipher them.
All right, my turn. Let me just share my screen quickly here and go over with you all again what those messages all mean in that patient file. So if anyone's not aware, all your patients have a record of all of the messages that have been sent to them. And that's going to be both email messages as well as text messages. And so in a patient file, if you just head to their messages tab, you'll see here all of the records of their messages. And like Jack said, this is going to be whether it's an appointment reminder, a receipt, if you've manually sent out an intake form, all of those are going to be here today, or sorry, here in their file, and I'm going to go over some of those today. All right, so I've got this set up in our demo site here. I've sent out a few emails to myself, and on the side here, you're going to notice a few of these statuses. So some of these I'll go through here. So you might see one that's unsent, and that's actually, you could also see some of the statuses of this in the appointment status as well. Unsent is one, and that means that a message is going to be sent at some point in time, an appointment reminder, likely, anything like that. The next one is going to be sent. So pretty straightforward there. This has been sent, it's been successful, it's gone out to that email. And then delivered, I'm not sure if I do have one. So I have here one that's delivered, and this is that an email has actually been received from the recipient and it's sitting in their inbox. And the next one we'll see here is going to be opened. And opened, exactly what it sounds like. Your patient has opened that email that was sent to them. You will also see one that's I don't have listed here. It's going to say clicked. And clicked means that the link within the email itself has been opened up or selected on. And then there's two more or three more actually, that I'm not able to get set up here at our demo
Thank,
site.
thankfully, you
Yeah,
don't see
I
them,
know,
but
right?
right.
So one of them is you might see something bad recipient. And so bad recipient is either the email address is invalid or not found, and you'll probably have to reach out to your patient to confirm their email and re-enter it and try again. Yeah, and then another one might be bounced. And this is that you had a valid email, but the message was not received. Maybe they had some spam filters turned on, anything like that. And then the last one's going to be complaint, whereas this is where a patient may have marked the email message as spam itself. So they may have to go back and unmark it as spam.
Yeah, and so really in those situations, the best thing to do is probably to reach out to Jane if they see that. I know if they've marked it or if you see it bounced, I believe, right? We have to do a little bit of work on the back end to get those emails out to them afterwards, right?
Yeah, so you could try having the patient mark it as safe to see if that works. And if that doesn't work, reach out to us. And there is a list that email may have gone on, and we can remove it from that list and get those messages to be sent to them.
Awesome. And there's something that a lot of people might not know about, but it's the 3 minute rule. Maybe you can give us a little explanation of what that is.
Yeah, so the 3 minute rule. So when you are booking an appointment, your patients receive a appointment booking notification on that, just like a confirmation that that appointment's been booked for them. That email is not sent out until 3 minutes after you book that appointment. Those 3 minutes kind of allows time. Maybe you made a mistake and booked it at the wrong time. Maybe you booked in the wrong patient. Maybe the patient was like, oops, actually, I don't want to do that time, do this instead. So it's just kind of like a safety buffer so that you can make any changes to that appointment without them being double notified of anything.
Awesome. And that's just for appointments. It's not for anything else you're sending of Jane, is that right?
Correct. Yes. So it's just with the appointment notification. So anything like their receipt, or if you manually send an intake form, that's immediately sent when you do send those out.
Awesome. Okay, I guess we can maybe look at what is being sent out. I know that there's a few different things being pulled from different areas of Jane that create those, appointment reminders
Mhm.
that get sent out. So maybe we could look at what that looks like and where that's all pulled from.
Yeah, so there's different things included, and maybe before we might go into that, I'm just going to mention one thing, Jack, which is
Go for it.
intake forms. I see this a lot through maybe some emails that we get sent in is um, sometimes it doesn't look like your intake forms are being sent out to patients when in fact they are. And this is because the intake form is actually included in that confirmation email they receive when they book their appointment. So I just brought this up. We can have a look here at a booking notification when an appointment's booked. And this one did require an intake form, and it's actually just included in that confirmation email. So you're not going to see the intake email being sent out separately. Only will you see, I think I sent one earlier today, only will you see this intake form option when you manually send out an intake form. If it's being automatically sent, it's going to be included in
Mm,
those notifications.
awesome. And for folks that don't know where to send that intake form manually from, maybe we can have a quick look
Mm,
at that before we dig into the
yeah,
emails that get sent
definitely.
out.
So to manually send an intake form, you're just going to head to the patient file, and we can re-email any intake form at any time and include a little personalized message here if you want.
Awesome. And I think it's good to mention too that we recently enough started including 24-hour intake form reminders, right? They just automatically go out. You don't even have to worry about setting them up. Is that right?
We did, yes. Yeah. So if somebody doesn't fill out their intake form 24 hours before their scheduled appointment, they're sent a email notification to remind them to fill it out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, let's dig into the body of our appointment bookings.
Yeah, so appointment notifications, there are some bits of customization that you can make on this. So this information up here, you can decide kind of the little message you have in here, and what's pulled. And this is changed in your settings under language. And I'll go through that in a moment here. But
Awesome.
information below, so you can add additional text below here. So currently, we just have this text right here, and this is information, this one line right here, actually, I should say this one line right here cannot be changed. So this is hard-coded into Jane. You're not able to change that language here, but you can add information above that line, and that's going to be pulled from the both a treatment setting. So each individual treatment can have what's called booking information after booking. So anything specific to that appointment that the notification is being sent out for, you can add additional text there. And then below that, still above this, is clinic info and locations language. So you can add anything about the location. Maybe you have specific parking instructions, or maybe like a keypad to enter in on, anything like that. You can pass that message on through your location settings there. And
Awesome.
then below your cancellation policy, you can also add some additional message through your settings in the language under the reminder email details.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, let's dig into the language area and see exactly what we can change.
yeah. So in our settings under language, here we can head down to our appointment reminder emails. Do, do, do. So one, you can do the cancellation policy. So where we saw earlier where that cancellation was, you can edit that information. And then the reminder emails details. So this is the bottom part under those emails. I'll just add something quick here. Other things you can customize. We'll have a look at your text message appointment reminders. So these you can also customize. However, there is a limit. So unlike the emails where you have a bit more room to type in more information, your text message appointment reminders, they are limited to only 130 characters. So it's pretty limited. And so you can change that here. If you are ever writing additional information and you try to hit the save, you'll see here I've gone over that 130. So if you ever can save it, it's generally because you've hit that 130 characters.
These are more meant for like a snapshot reminder, right?
Exactly, yeah.
The longer information should be in those appointment reminder
Yeah.
emails that are going out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
One thing here, if you ever want to see what your emails are going to look like without having to, book in that fake patient to have that sent to you, in your settings under emails, you can preview any of those emails that are sent out to your patients here.
Awesome. That's handy.
Yeah, so here's that text I added in earlier. That's going to show up below that cancellation policy there.
Cool. I think another thing I'd love to maybe have a little chat about is marketing emails, right? With marketing emails, you can't get people to automatically opt in, but a lot of clinics don't actually have marketing emails, but do want to make sure that their clients know about like closures or holidays or staff leaving or new staff coming. And so maybe we can talk a little bit about how you can opt everyone into those clinic-wide emails that wouldn't particularly be used for marketing.
Yeah. So you can opt in everybody in if you want, and that is done in your settings tab in the online booking setting, actually. And if we scroll right down to the bottom in the area here, marketing emails opt-in. So here you can select the set all to opted in. And now all of your patients are, if you're using MailChimp, they're going to be synced into your MailChimp account. You can change the language of the marketing emails. So you could add a little blurb in here. We don't send out marketing emails. It's, to update you on clinic information such as holidays, staff changes, so that, that way they know what that's for and that it's not going to be marketing.
Yeah. So we don't recommend opting everyone in if you are going to be sending marketing emails,
Correct.
right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Awesome. And maybe you can show what that will look like in the actual intake forms that patients
Mhm.
see.
So this is going to show, it still will say the news and special promotions. This part you cannot change, but the text that you see next to the checkbox, you can change that text there. So that's what we're looking at in that box. That's where that's going to show.
Awesome. And I think it's worth mentioning that you're not limited to the amount of reminders that you can set up in Jane, right? You can have unlimited text and email reminders.
Mhm.
With that being said, we don't want to inundate clients, but yeah, maybe we can
Yeah.
show where we can set that up.
Yeah, definitely. So with Jane, your Jane subscription is including unlimited email and text message appointment reminders. So feel free to set up as many as you want here. But like Jack said, your patients may not want a whole lot. But if you did want to set up any more, those are done in your settings under reminders and notifications. One thing I'll mention is if you do create a new reminder, your patients are not actually automatically selected into those. So if you do create one and you do want them to be selected into automatically or all at once, you would be able to reach out to us and we can do that for you.
Awesome. Awesome. And then I think before we wrap up for the day, maybe we can have a look at what notification settings are in place for staff members in our
Mhm.
practice.
Yeah, so just like patients, every staff member has a record of the messages that are sent to them. Now, with staff, it's only going to be the appointment booking notifications. They don't receive a text message of their appointments or anything like that, but staff can receive emails when an appointment is booked or canceled or rescheduled, and the record of those will be in their staff profile here as well. I'm not sure if we have any going out for our demo site, but you'll be able to see that the status will be the same too, whether it's been
Yeah.
delivered, unsuccessful. With these staff notifications, staff actually do have an option on whether they want to receive those and when they, or what's the best, how best word that, or when they're sent as well. So in a staff member settings, here under settings, we'll see notification preferences. So a staff member could be notified anytime an appointment is booked. So, or canceled or rescheduled, no matter how far in the future that those changes or bookings are happening. However, if say they only want to be notified of bookings or cancellations only in the next 2 weeks of their schedule, they could set this to 2 weeks, which means any changes to my schedule in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be notified. Anything past 2 weeks from now, I'm not going to know. I'm not going to be
Awesome.
notified. Yeah. One thing to note about the notifications as well, staff are only notified when a patient does the booking online or if a different staff member does the booking online. If the individual staff member is scheduling somebody themselves or making the changes, Jane's going to assume they know they did this change. They don't need to be sent that notification about it.
Awesome. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think that's everything we planned for today.